I thought defensively we were better, and we're in the hunt. As you mentioned, the competition level is higher, and that's what we need. And you have to be in the hunt, and then once you get there, you have to, like, execution down the stretch, missing 10 free throws. Like, those are the things that are going to get us over. But first and foremost, you got to compete at a high level and be in the hunt, and that's. When we go back and look at the film, I'm sure defensively we were better tonight. And, we did a pretty good job in Portland as well. But that's the biggest thing is we have to compete at a high level. And then in this league, you have to learn how to win games. And that's where we're at right now.
Doug, where do you think that's coming from? Is it just who you're putting out there and that, in some cases these are guys that are either young and or just have a lot to prove?
Yeah, I mean, listen, whoever we put out there, you want them to compete at a high level, but the energy, obviously, that some of these young guys bring in, Max and, especially Dylan and Neek, they up the level when it comes to the ability to fly around the floor and make sure that we're rebounding the basketball with the two bigs when we do have them out there. That's huge because we are going to play teams that play two bigs, and without a lot of practice time, we have had a few days recently that we were able to practice. Sometimes, you're trying to figure it out on the floor how to work with those two. And it can be frustrating sometimes, but the point is they play with their heart, they fly around, and if you're going to compete at that level, those are the things that we live with.
Doug, speaking of Dylan, you know what it is to have a connection with this fan base. He seems to feed off them and them him with just his reactions, even after blocking shots. Yeah. What do you make of the importance of that and what that brings to a team?
I've said many times Golden One Center is going to define itself at some point, and that's going to be, obviously as we continue to compete, then we start to learn to win, and all of a sudden it starts to define itself, and it defines itself with guys like that who play like that, and they know what to expect when he hits the floor and the energy that he brings and the passion that he brings and how he goes about his business on a night-to-night basis. So super, super proud of the way that he got out there and played tonight.
Coach, this is a second consecutive game that Malik Monk didn't play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is this going to be kind of a game-by-game, decision moving forward?
Well, we made the decision to go with Keon. Similar situation when Keon wasn't playing. Malik was the one. It's a log jam there. We're 6-22. We're trying something different. I mean, we're going to turn over all the rocks and try to make sure that we are locked in on that. So not necessarily permanent. No, not at all. Like I told him, stay ready. You don't know. Your number may be called, and when it's called, you got to step up the same way that Keon was doing when he was on the sideline. And it was like, Keon, well, he's getting his opportunity and played not as well tonight as he did in Portland, but the energy and all those things that we want, he was bringing that. So not necessarily permanent, but we made a decision to go in that direction with the record that we have. And listen, we're gonna figure it out. Like I said, the first part is the compete part. That is escalating in the right direction. Now it's going to be learning how to finish. These aren't games where we're down by 20 and losing by 30 points. These are games that are close, and now we have to figure out how to execute, make free throws, playing with different lineups. How do those lineups look? This is not the lineup that we necessarily saw that we or thought that we would get at the beginning of the season. We've never played with our proposed starting lineup, not one time this year. So right now we're searching and trying to make sure that we're putting a product out there that the fans are absolutely proud of, and that's just the bottom line.